Thank you for your support and for watching avivTarot. This is a general pick-a-card reading. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Not everything will apply. My readings are meant to be constructive and not destructive. I give readings to empower you. I will be honest in what I see and will not give you false hopes or empty promises in order to keep you happy. I will be compassionate and sensitive to your feelings and will not judge or condemn. Energies are ever-changing. You are still the master of your own destiny.
Hi everyone, thank you for watching avivTarot, and today we are going to do another pick a card reading, and can you believe it? It's another week. So today's topic is what is going to happen in the next 7 to 10 days. Okay, what can you expect, or what can you watch out for in the next 7 to 10 days? So now, yesterday was actually new moon. So if anyone hasn't set their intentions for the new moon, I like to do new moon wishes or new moon intentions. Whenever I remember, I actually put it in my calendar so I will remember to do that. So if you haven't already, you should do it today. All right, so we have 3 different piles, 1, 2, and 3. And if you need more time, you can pause the video and use your intuition to choose the pile that resonate with you the most. And if you have if you need to see where, oh my gosh, what am I trying? I just lost my train of thoughts. I was like thinking, looking at the pictures and mesmerized by it. But I was going to say, if you need the timestamps for each of the piles, it's going to be in the description box below or in the message box. All right, so we will start with pile number 1. All right, so for pile number 1, we have this card over here. It says, go for it. Your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. We've been working with you on this situation since its genesis, and we continue to watch over you and everyone involved. Stay on your present path, as it will take you very far indeed. So this is your general energy for the next 7 to 10 days. It's telling you to go for it, and you're being watched over, and not just you, but everyone involved. So if you have any projects that you're thinking about doing in the next 7 to 10 days, you should probably get started. All right, stop procrastinating and start doing it, because you're being watched over and they're going to help you every step of the way. And whatever you're thinking about doing, it's the right thing for you. Go for it. Do it. Okay. And it says it will take you very far. So whatever you're hoping to receive or to manifest in the next 7 to 10 days, or actually whatever that you've been wanting to do for the longest time, you should do it within the next 7 to 10 days, because you're going to be helped by, spiritually, or with the universe's help, or with like an actual physical person coming into the scene to help you out, right? So do it, and you can expect positive expectations for whatever you wish to do. And it's going to be answered. All right, so it's going to be answered. So I think it applies to any parts of your life. It could be your love situation, it could be your finances, it could be your work and career. All right, so that's super good omen. And now we're going to look at specifically in each of the areas what you should look out for and expect. So now we have, let me take a look. Ooh, oh my goodness, definitely really good. Okay, so for love situation for the next 7 to 10 days, we have the 3 of Wands. Let me show you these cards. We have 3 of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Hangman. But we're going to go with the first card. This is the love. This is for your love situation for the next 7 to 10 days. We have 3 of Wands. Look at this. We have like 3 little dirt piles, and there's branches, or these are the wands, but it looks like branches growing out of it, and on top of it there's a butterfly. So there's new transformation. Like over here, we're talking about things are going to manifest. You're going to start seeing little seedlings sprouting into into life, right? And I mean, it's not a full-fledged tree yet, but it's growing, it's becoming stronger and bigger, and there's new things transforming on the horizon. So definitely, and this is a card to take things into action. So this is about your love. I think little things are going to transpire into great things, right? Things that you can you've been waiting for the longest time. You're going to finally start seeing a little bit of the result. Okay, again, this is not like a full-fledged final thing, but Three of Wands, it's a very good omen. Things are starting to sprout, and there's the butterfly up on top showing transformation. So what I get out of this card, for example, if you are single, I think there is a very likelihood or possibility for the next 7 to 10 days you might be able to meet someone that matches. I would say, like, whenever I see threes in general, except for Three of Swords, but even Three of Swords is talking about healing energy, right? You've been brokenhearted and you're trying to heal, but anyways, the three is always about like cooperation. It's about start seeing things growing, right? You're seeing the beginning result of something. So this is about that. So I would say, like, in the next 7 to 10 days, I think there's new transformation on the horizon. Maybe there's somebody that you're thinking about or crushing on. You might be meeting someone. I feel like this might be meeting someone, or this is about like you being able to meet someone through like a common friend or something like that, right? Because this is over here, go for it. I just really strongly feel that there's going to be someone in your life that you will a lot of things checked, your boxes, and you should just go for it. Okay, don't think too much. Don't let fear interfere you, prevent you from moving forward. There's somebody that is really good, because Three of Wands, what happens afterwards is the Four of Wands. It's the celebration card. It's building a firm foundation, right? It's a wedding card as well for some people. And so definitely, I think there's like the beginning of new things, new relationships forming. Definitely really good. So now, if you have someone in mind that you're crushing for, and you're like, you're just like not sure what's happening, or maybe in a situationship, I really do think things are going to change a little bit for you, maybe for the good. Obviously, things are going to change for the good. Things are going to turn up in your favor, because over here it says go for it. So whatever you've been praying about, it's going to manifest. So if you've been always doubting yourself, having negative thoughts, that's also going to affect it too, right? So definitely think good things. It's really hard. I notice, even for myself, it's really hard to not let that little like doubt to come in all the time, a little bit. Like when you're super happy and you're like, oh my God, everything's going so well, and you're thinking, oh my God, is this gonna like, being taken away from me or something. I think it's human nature to feel that, but just don't let that grow into a huge big thing where it kind of overpowers all of the other good things, and you're living in fear instead of living freely. And I think the fear part helps us, keeps us in line and keeps us in check, so that we don't get super overly excited, and so it's our mechanism, fight or flight type of mechanism. So I think fear is always going to be there, doubt is always going to be there, but just so that we can prepare ourselves for things. But overall, I would say 80% of the time, 90% of the time, think good thoughts, and you're going to be able to manifest it. Okay, in love. So now, if you are in a stable relationship, this is nothing to worry about. I think new things are going to come about. Maybe you might be able to move on to the next level. I think you're maybe rekindling your passion, because seeing the butterfly with the Three of Wands like growing out of this dirt pile, is that, you know, I think there's like new beginning. We are in the spring season. If you're watching this video as I upload them, doesn't matter. It is timeless. So it doesn't matter if I'm just using, you know, when I'm uploading it, that's the first message that came through, because we're in spring time right now. That, you know, it's always, it's like happy, new things, new beginnings, new hope and all that stuff. So I think for people who are in a stable relationship, things are going quite well for you. You might be thinking of new things that you wanted to do, that you wanted to try, rekindle that passion again. And I also feel with the Three of Wands, with the tree, in this particular deck at least, okay, that there's like you know, new leaves coming out of these branches, that for some of you guys might even be able to you know, conceive a child or something like that. I know it's not a very strong message, but so I would say like it's like maybe 10% of you, all right? So it's not like for a small percentage of you who are wishing for this kind of trying to manifest this. I think there is a very likely possibility, because again, the next card is the Four of Wands. It's that building a family, wedding celebration card, okay? So I do think there is a possibility of you conceiving a child, having that pregnancy and that kind of things, okay? So now, lastly, for people who are looking to reconnect or recommunicate or reconcile with someone from the past, since this is the love part of the reading, this will be somebody from like a past lover or some sort, right? I think with the Three of Wands, it is still like a bit of a timing card as well. It's, you know, it's a divine timing and all of that, but it says go for it. So if you've been thinking about it for a while and you've been just thinking about you know, trying to maybe contact this person again and you know, that kind of things, I would definitely think that you can try your luck again if it's been a while, okay? Let me put it out there. If you just broke up or you just like really recently broken up and you know, the person told you to like, I need time alone or something like that, then you should probably honor that, right? But if it's been like a while since time has passed and all of that, and you're thinking, you know, this person just kind of hop into your mind and you're thinking about like, how are they doing? Are they you know, and you're still hoping to reconcile with them, then I would say like, go for it. Try and see if this person will respond to you now, since some time has passed. I think there might be new energy coming in, right, with the butterfly over here, that you might be able to get some good things, good results coming out of it. I think there is a very likely possibility, all right? But again, I'm just going to emphasize that there has to be some time that passed since you guys broken up or since you guys stopped communicating. And I guess sometime, what would determine sometime? I would say with the Three of Wands showing up, at least 3 months, all right? At least 3 months. If not, double that, 6 months, right? 3 to 6 months. Or more, that you haven't talked to each other and now you're just, you know, trying to catch up or something like that. I think you might be able to hear something like this person might be able to, you know, not be so cold, right? The Wands card is all about passion. All right, so that's that in the love section for the next 7 to 10 days. Now, for the next one is your business or your career for the next 7 to 10 days, and we have the Ace of Swords. All right, so the Ace of Swords we have, which is great card to have. I think there's clarity coming through, there's new beginning coming through, there's truth coming through. And sometimes Ace of Swords, it kind of gives me the vibe of Justice card as well. So maybe there's like some kind of a karma or some things that are some kind of a justification or justice is going to be served type of thing. So, and over here it says go for it. And what else better to get a Ace of Swords card to show, to kind of resonate, reflect this card. It's telling you to go for it, right? So With the blue, I almost feel like this is like a wing, like, fly away, wings. Sometimes I know the Ace of Swords, they would associate that with like the dove or something like that, peace and all that stuff too. Maybe that's why it gives me that idea of the justice. So for the next 7 to 10 days, I would say with the Ace of Swords showing up, whether you are being employed or if you are looking for employment right now, I think you're going to be able to find something that you really like. You will actually be able to take action. You'll see things more clearly. Maybe you'll be able to figure out what it is that you really, really wanted to do, really, really passionate about, and you'll go for it. And I think I associate it sometimes with planning as well, because it's all about thinking things through, right? So you probably have a really good plan of action, how you wanted to go about it. So with this Ace of Swords, whether if you're employed, maybe if you wanted to, have a promotion or some sort, or if you want to get that client that you've been wanting to get for the longest time, that kind of things, I think you'll be able to see it through. And so maybe like use this next 7 to 10 days to plan it out if you haven't already. If you already have a plan of action, so then definitely take the next 7 to 10 days to start implementing that plan. So if you are trying to get an employment, I would really think you'll be able to probably get that interview that you've been hoping to receive. This is all about getting that message. So for some others of you that you've already been interviewed and all of that, I think you probably will receive a phone call or a message or email or something telling you that, hey, we want to hire you. When do you want to start? Right? So I think it's definitely really good. You might be able to communicate the terms of your contract and all of that. So lots of good energy coming in this week for your business. All right. So, and it's telling you to go for it. So if there's anything that you've been procrastinating and thinking about, this is not the week to procrastinate. All right. If I see other cards, for example, 4 of Swords, then I'll tell you to, maybe take it easy. But with this main card over here and then the Ace of Swords card, this is not the time to be lazy. All right. This is the time to start get things moving, because you'll see great results. All right, so last card we have the Hangman, and this is in regards to your finances for the next 7 to 10 days. We have the major arcana card. So when major arcana cards shows up, I would say that it's not just for the next 7 to 10 days, but the energy might linger a little longer, or the energy maybe was from like previous weeks, and it's kind of continuing on as well. So with the Hangman showing up here, it's definitely a really life changing type of events maybe happening this week, or some kind of a major decision that you have to make in regards to your finances. So the Hangman in this particular deck is kind of interesting because there's the Jesus in the back, and then there's the upside down cross, right? Upside down person, but it almost looks like the upside down. So I kind of like think of this particular deck as the like God and devil all together. But so you probably want to see both sides of things. That's what I see with this, having the cross in the back. There's a truck that just passed. So there's the Jesus right in the back, and then also like the front is the reverse side of it. And so first of all, Hangman is about seeing things from all perspective and having this, I would say, really weigh it on both sides, right? And it's also about sacrifices. So for the next 7 to 10 days, I would say in regards to your finance, I would say that, with this card, first of all, it's about, things being put on hold. So I would definitely say that if you are thinking about investing, let's break it up into 2 different parts, the investing part, okay, and the spending part. So if you're thinking about investing, investments, whether it's like real estate, stocks, or whatever it is, bonds, or all kinds of things, or other people investing in human friends or whatever it is. I would say investment part, definitely maybe put it on hold. And try to reevaluate the situation a little bit. I would even say this might be, because it's a major arcana card, not just this week, you really want to take the time to think about it, how doing this action or how this investment or this investing is going to affect you on the long run, like on the long term side of it. And long term, I would say like at least 3 to 5 years type of long term. All right. So if you, maybe for example, if you're investing, putting money into like whatever it is that you're thinking about, then, make sure that this is not the money that you're going to be needing, in a year or two. This is something that you're going to put it in there and just let it sit and blossom into great return for you in the long run. So definitely, since it's going to affect you long term, take the time to really think it over, think about the time, and think about it over time. I would even say like for the next month or so, you probably don't want to do anything too impetuously. Really, really evaluate everything. So just don't listen to people telling you, hey, this is a really good investment. Do your research as well. So that you know what you're getting yourself into. And this is the same thing as well with like, if you already invested in things and you're thinking about, hey, should I cash out or something like that? Or should I sell it? Should I sell it and reinvest or something like that? I would really say for the next at least a month or so, take the time to reevaluate, maybe up to 6 months or so. To reevaluate the situation. Don't do things too impetuously, because it might affect you in the long run. So really think about it, okay? Evaluate everything that you could think of. Maybe you can even ask people to, help you evaluate it too, like the experts or something like that. Because the Hangman showing up here, I definitely think if you're going to do something now, like this week, you might have to sacrifice something, because the Hangman is about sacrificing. So maybe something that you have to sacrifice. Maybe it's like your, I don't know, interest. Maybe there's some penalty that you have to pay, etc. All right. Now let's talk about spending. Will you have like major expenses coming out this week that you should watch out for? For the Hangman, I really do think like maybe there is a tendency that you feel like, oh, I really want this thing, that but I don't think I think when Hangman shows up, the things that you really want could be, you probably want to evaluate it. Is it more like a want or a need? If it's a want, I would definitely say, you could probably wait. And if it's a need, then, make sure you do your evaluation, compare. Obviously I'm not talking about things that are $1 or $2 difference or like 50 cents difference. Now you don't have to think about it for that long, okay? But if it's like something quite large, couple hundreds, thousands of dollars of like difference, then take the time to really compare, different sites, different places, their return policy, all of that. Look at the fine print as well. So before you make that purchase, because you don't want to regret it. Right? Take the time to really think it over, to see if it's a want versus need. And if it's a need, do you really need it to be a certain brand, or all of that. Evaluate the quality, the specification, the specs of the thing. All right, so that's what I see for pile number 1, and let me know if this resonated for you. You can leave it in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel and my video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. Now, let's see, for pile number 2, we have this card is Ask, which is very, very interesting, because the same card showed up for my Chinese one yesterday, and this one is about ask us to help you in this situation and we will immediately go to work on your behalf. We're governed by many universal laws, and among them is the free will that allows you to make your own choices and decisions. So we patiently await your request. This is kind of interesting because the first card is about go for it, and it says we are answering your prayers, right, and your expectations or something like that. And this one, pile number 2, I feel like is kind of the opposite. Like there's a lot of things that maybe you want to get, you wish to have, but you never ask. You're kind of I feel this is the group that has a lot of fear or doubts. Whenever you ask for something, you're like, nah, it's probably never gonna happen to me. Other people will get it because they're just lucky. I'm just like unlucky. Or just have a lot of like skepticism or like doubts about why will universe give you something, right? Ask, regardless. Ask and you shall be given, all right? Or you should be you shall be given. It doesn't hurt. It's kind of like I live by one of my motto is, do it, try it at least. So, you would never know if you'd never even try it or if you never even ask. So the same kind of message that I kind of give yesterday to as well to the Chinese audiences is that like I'm not scared. I feel like this is not just about prayers or like asking things from the universe, but like in general, in your life in general. Maybe you're like kind of the shy, quiet one. You're always thinking about like, oh my God, my question is going to be so dumb. Nobody wants to answer me. Well, I think I always ask questions. Even if I think like, oh my God, this might be like the stupidest question, but I would run it through. For example, I can't remember if I shared with my English audiences that I have 2 different other jobs, which is real estate and acting. But for example, acting, you can always cast. It's like artsy. Everybody's really nice, I feel like, unless they're like, hurrying, trying to finish something, then they'll be like kind of impatient. But you should evaluate the situation before when you're asking too. But like real estate, I'm just like, I'm kind of new. I'm not that new, but I'm still kind of new. And sometimes I feel like if I present something to like another agent or something like that, I'm just giving this as an example, right? So if I just don't know if this is like the appropriate question to ask the other agent when I'm representing like a client of mine, right? And I would think like, oh, maybe they would underestimate me or undervalue me or something like that if I ask a particular question. So then before you ask that question, you should ask somebody else, somebody who's a lot more experienced than you. Say, hey, run it through them and say, you know what, I have this question that I want to ask them. Does it sound really dumb? If you're like the other agent and I ask you this, will you think like, oh, I'm such a newbie or I'm stupid or something like that? You can ask them, run it through them. And they even, if it's some kind of a question that they can answer, they might even just answer it for you. You don't even have to ask the other listing agent or something like that. Or the buyer's agent, for example, depending on which side that you represent. But but sometimes there are questions that I've asked the experienced agent, and I was like, well, I'm gonna ask this question. Is that gonna be like really kind of dumb or something? And they're like, no, actually, I wouldn't have the answer either. You have to ask them. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's actually a common question that you should ask anyways to anyone. So now you know what is a stupid question, what is not a stupid question, but you ask, okay? And run it by people. Like if you feel like you're going to make a fool out of yourself, if you just go ahead and ask that. And sometimes I have particular questions. If it's like, say for example, if you're in a class or like in a seminar and it's like a lot of people, sometimes I'm just like, well, I don't know, I might just be taking up other people's time because this might be just like my own question. I know they're like, oh, this is if you have this question, a lot of other people have this question, but gauge it a little bit, right? So sometimes I feel like, no, this is like my own particular question. Then I would, just after class or after the fact, I would email them separately or just go up to them and ask them, individually. But I'm still asking the question. I'm not like, oh, just forget about it. You know what I mean? So I really do think that if you have any type of questions or if there's any doubts or whatever it is, you should always ask and try to get a confirmation. Because if you don't do it, I think it only hurts you more than helping you. So that's why whether it's the universe that you need to ask for, some favors or gifts or rewards or something like that, or just asking for clarification of certain questions that you have in life or whatever that you have, just do it. I really do think sometimes when you're having a lot of good questions, it makes the people, you stand out from the group as well. Like I notice, like, I never think people know me because I kind of I don't like to gossip. I just like, I would go to work, go home, or go to school, go home, and I'm like, But, and then I talk to other people and they're like, oh yeah, they all know you. And I was like, why? And I'm thinking it's probably because I always ask questions and that kind of things. And I think that kind of like, you're quiet, but then you ask questions so people remember you. So you're not just like someone that's forgettable, right? Your existence, you need to make you stand out. You need to fight for your own existence, right? So enough of like said. That was just an example, right? I'm just giving my own example. If you could relate, that's great. If not, then don't worry about it. All right, so now we have, ooh, very nice. Okay. All right, so you have the Justice, the Ten of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. Each corresponds to the different areas that we're going to talk about. So the first one is your love, all right, in your love area for the next 7 to 10 days. So Justice. Justice is a great omen to have for in regards to love. This is so interesting. I think yesterday one of the piles got this too. Was it corresponding to the same thing? Anyways, but Justice is about contract, is about give and take, equal give and take, not just give and take, it's equal. It's about karma, it's about what goes around comes around, right? So I would say like for, in general, for the next 7 to 10 days, this is a general energy in regards to your love life. This is the main energy, okay, about asking. So, this is interesting. We're talking about even asking. I was just giving you an example about like work, but ask your partner. If you're in a relationship, ask them. Ask for clarification. Don't just like think about things and assume things. And I love this assume. Somebody told me this, and you guys might know already. Assume in English is like ASSUME, right? That's how it's spelled out, which is if you don't ask and you just assume, that's making an ass out of you and me, right? So assume is never a good thing. Ask for clarification. So that's, I think this will also apply to your love life as well. If you have somebody that you're crushing on, if you're in a situationship and you're just unclear of what's going on, you're not pushing them to get an answer like, oh yeah, define the relationship or anything. But if you have any doubts and you're just really wanting some answers or something, ask them. And in the best way possible, right? There's also ways of asking. There's really I think asking questions is a really big skill or really good skill to have. So how do you ask so that you can get the answer that you're looking for, right? So with this card, if you're single, I would say with the Justice, you're trying to find balance between your personal life, business, and also life, because you're single. I think your like work is taking up a lot of the time from you, and so I don't even think that you have a lot of time to go outside and meet people. So if that is the case, then maybe you need to find the balance of so that you have time to do that, right? So with this Justice card showing up, also with the Justice card showing up, I think for some of you guys might also be that you've been hurt before or something like that, or you've hurt someone else before. Now, you know, we were talking about karma type of thing. So like if you hurt other people, then, you know, maybe you want to remain single for now, you enjoy that. But for others of you that if you have been hurt before, maybe you're kind of scared to go back out there again, right? So maybe this is when you want to bring in someone that will not hurt you anymore. Bring in someone that is ready for a committed relationship, right? This is about justice, is about commitment too. So committed relationship. This is Libra energy, which is the ruler for the 7th house, relationship. Equal give and take. And I will so now if you have a crush that you're thinking about, with this card showing up, I think it's actually not a bad card, especially for this deck in particular, because this is like two people playing like chess or something, right? And I do feel like with this card showing up here, whether if you're just having a crush on someone, a situationship, or if you are in a relationship with someone, right? Stable relationship. I think whoever you're with, they have the same feeling as you. This is an equal give and take, right? So whatever you're feeling, the other person is feeling it the same way too. So if you're feeling really annoyed, the chances are probably your partner has the same kind of feeling about you as well. All right. But if you're feeling loved, you know, that you're hoping to build a family together, and the chances are that your partner has the same, you know, thinking and same thoughts about you too. So I really do feel this is like equalness, right? Because look at these two people, they're equally concentrated on the game. No one is winning, no one is losing. It's like equal. They're kind of like the same level of things. So if you're thinking about, hey, I just want to have like, you know, I just want to have fun. For example, if you're in a situationship and you're just thinking, oh, I just want to have fun, I don't really care about like a stable relationship or committed one, then your partner's probably thinking about that too. So or if you're unsure, then they're unsure too. So you're kind of getting back what you feel. Does that make sense? That if you are hoping to get a committed relationship, then because I really do think that if your thoughts create your action type of thing, so it matches. And so because of that, the energy kind of comes back at you too. The other person will reflect it. This kind of almost feel like a reflection of each other too, right? So if you are it started out as like a playful type of a relationship, and now maybe you're thinking, hey, I actually do want to have this like kind of be exclusive or something like that. I'm just using that example. I think your person might also feel that, and they might feel the same way too, right? This is the thing. This is what I get out of this card. And if you are unsure, ask. All right, so now the final group. If you are in if you are hoping to reconnect or reconcile with someone, I do feel like with the Justice card, it has that similar energy too, right? Like what we're talking about, whatever you're thinking about, the other person is thinking about that too. So, but you just have to do it tactfully, right? Tactically, skillfully. How about that? You have to do it skillfully, because this is about playing chess. This is all this mind game. All right. So if you're like, I hate mind game, I don't want to play games. It's not about playing games, but it's about doing it skillfully. So if you are hoping to reconcile, reconnect with someone, first of all, well, there's that Justice card over here. You want to do it skillfully. There is, because it is the Justice card, right? So there is like that feeling of doing, like if you did someone wrong, and you're hoping for them to apologize or something like that. I do think there is the possibility for that, right? or getting things back. Okay, ask. Reconciliation, I think there is a good chance actually for the next 7 to 10 days. Again, this is a major arcana card. It might be energy lingering from previous weeks, and also it might linger for the next not just the 7 to 10 days, maybe for like the next month-ish. All right, so it's gonna take a little bit. It's also like quite big. And again, this is a major arcana card, so it doesn't matter which group that we're talking about, whether you're single, crushed, or you're in a relationship, reconciliation, all that. I do feel like it's a major life-changing energy or life experience type of thing. So you want to, put your best judgment there. Lastly, I think for people who are in a relationship, because the Justice card is also about contract, so partnership, right? Contracting. So there, for some of you guys, you might be moving forward to the next step, right? The Justice card, you might be signing some kind of a contract, which is, that marriage paper. But for others of you, there is also a possibility of divorce or something like that. So this, just because this card shows up, this is general reading, just putting this information out there. So there is that energy, something involving the court, all right? And you might be getting with this Justice card, whether if it's like signing papers or trying to divorce or whatever it is, justice will be served. All right, so now business wise, we have the 10 of Wands for the next 7 to 10 days. This is an interesting card because there's 1 Wands holding up a bag with 9 Wands inside. It means just from the look of it, it creates like burden, right? It's about responsibility. 10 of Wands is all about responsibility. It's about pressure, stress, right? So for the next 7 to 10 days, I think business-wise, there is going to, or career-wise, work-wise, there are certain pressure going to be put on you, or maybe you're putting that stress on you as well. So it could be from other people, it could be from yourself. But regardless, there's like pressure, there's stress, you're feeling stressed out at work for the next 7 to 10 days. Something is stressing you out at work, or someone is stressing you out. And if you're confused about something, maybe ask, and also ask the universe, because seriously, I remember I talked about this. Ask. I feel like you guys are the group that kind of you kind of keep everything to yourself. You don't like to really ask people for favor because you don't like to owe people anything, right? And you're kind of like reserved type of thing. And so because of that type of like personality, there is a very likely chance that the 10 of Wands showing up is like you're also the kind of person that will get quite stressed out because you don't let it out. You don't like to share that with people. You kind of just take on things alone and by yourself, and just like it's really hard for you to release it, right? Because you don't like to share that with other people. You feel maybe embarrassed, or you just don't like to put burdens onto other people, right? You care about other people so much that you put yourself last. So there is that. So I really do think with this showing up here, ask could be like ask for help, ask for just to release the burden that you've been putting on yourself for the longest time. It could be at work. Ask if lots of things are going to be due in the next 7 to 10 days or something. And then ask other people to help you out, right? So I just feel like a lot of stress, and you can't really release it. You don't know how to release it. Definitely ask. And I really do think if you ask people, you're going to be surprised at how many people want to help you out, right? I really don't think you're kind of the kind of people that people like don't want to help you, because you rarely ask for help. If you actually ask, people are like, oh wow, like oh, okay. And you might even see like, your interpersonal relationship kind of spike up too, because people are like, oh, you're not as like, hard to talk to, because you kind of keep it to yourself. So people maybe thought you're a little antisocial sometimes, right? But they'll be like, oh, you're actually not too bad. So try to do that, right? If you are looking for an appointment, so you're currently unemployed, I do feel like definitely you're stressed out because you're trying to find work, right? And you can't. So you're going to feel really, really stressed out for the next 7 to 10 days. And with this card showing up, I mean, it is the last card in the group. So you're at the end of a cycle. So I don't think your pressure or your stress is going to be lifted this week, right? But there is a likely chance maybe starting next week, there is a possibility of you starting out a new cycle. But this week, I feel like the stress is going to remain and you're still going to feel quite stressed out, maybe pressured by someone, maybe yourself, to find something. So I really don't think that, maybe this is more like my personal advice, not from the card, but because of the card ask showing up here, I do think maybe you can ask for like someone to help you out, like put in a good word for you, and my personal advice over here now is that sometimes when you're feeling so stressed and so desperate, right? Because this people can feel that. So you want to learn how to release it a little bit so that you can look like you're super chilled, so that when you go to the interview or something like that, you don't look so desperate. That's just like, my personal suggestion. If you can figure out how to release it, maybe ask, maybe do some things that you enjoy so that you don't look so stressed, because people can always feel someone who's like really desperate, and it's just not a good energy to give out to people, and kind of sometimes people it repels people from it. And so if you can somehow learn to lift off this weight, because again, this is about responsibility. You're the kind of person that just takes on a lot of responsibility as well, right? So you're gonna maybe learn to disperse a little bit of that responsibility too, so that you're not carrying so much on yourself. So then you will actually be able to get what you wanted to receive. All right. So now for the next 7 to 10 days, in regards to your finance situation, you got the 7 of Swords. 7 of Swords is about planning, but 7 of Swords is also about stealing or getting away with things. So we'll break it up into the two major categories, which is investing and expenses. All right. So now for the next 7 to 10 days, in regards to investing, I would definitely say that you want to take the next 7 to 10 days to plan, strategize. Don't take any crazy moves just yet. The next 7 to 10 days with 7 of Swords showing up is not a good energy. 7 of Swords, again, is that someone trying to take advantage of you. So if you're not well prepared or well educated, someone will definitely take advantage of that and try to, and once you're in it, you're gonna realize you're kind of stuck, right? So don't let other people take advantage of you, especially if you're investing a large sum of money. And also if you are looking to like maybe sell or cash out because you've already started investing and you're just trying to see what to do next, I would definitely say this week is a strategizing, a planning time. Don't make a lot of moves just yet so that other people will take advantage of you. But we do have 7 of Swords. It means that maybe you want to take advantage of the situation. For example, if it's really low, like for example, even though real estate, if you're in the States, I don't know if you're in other parts of the world, but if you're in the States, since I'm in the States, I I just know that even though interest rate has been going up a little bit, but it's still low enough, so maybe you want to take advantage of that. Or stocks market, it's been going up, but other ones that if you're more familiar with like stock, I just know very little of it. The only one that I look at is Apple. But if you're like very experienced or something like that, maybe you want to take advantage of the whole like market and the whole worldly situation as well. So take advantage of that. So that would be the suggestion. You want to strategize and plan and take advantage, but don't let other people take advantage of you. All right, but take advantage of the situation or the global economy like situation type of thing. All right, so that's that. And then for the next 7 to 10 days, will you have like major expenses that you should watch out for? 7 of Swords, I would definitely think that because it is about other people taking advantage of you, right? Or lying to, you know, taking things away from you. So there is a possibility of like not you spending a lot of money, but people are using your maybe naivety or your innocence and taking advantage of that and like stealing money away from you, right? So definitely watch out for. So if anyone is asking you to borrow money or to ask you again, like we're talking about investing, if it's something that you're unfamiliar with, don't let them trick you. Really watch out for that energy. And if people are asking you to borrow money from you, if you're going to do it, then think of the money as like lost forever. Don't think about getting it back. Right? Otherwise it's going to like pain you. It's going to be quite painful thinking, when is this person going to give you back that money? So really watch out for that. And I really, every time 7 of Swords showing up, and like if it's a finance reading, I do think there's like someone is like trying to scam you. Someone is trying to get money out of your pocket without your knowledge, or with you know, giving you telling you one thing but doing something else. You know what I mean? Like they won't give you the full picture of something, so you thought you're getting something out of it, but in reality you're being taken advantage of. So you really want to watch out for that. All right. And whoever's scamming you or like trying to take advantage of you could be your people that you're really close with, that somebody that you trust. I mean, but also it could be like, you know, just scam calls or something like that. So you really watch out for that energy for the next 7 to 10 days, especially, you know, with the tax season and all these, like, I think people are taking advantage of like doing like vaccines or something like that, like making you pay money or whatever. Anytime if you have to pay money to get certain services, definitely watch out. Like do a little bit of research before you put in anything. All right, so that's just things you want to watch out for the next 7 to 10 days for pile 2, and I hope this helped. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel and do my video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. All right, so for pile number 3, this is your card for the major energy for the next 7 to 10 days. It says ground yourself. And this is also another card that my Chinese video yesterday, one of the piles, they got this as well. This is very interesting. So now, this says, when you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We're helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. So with this card showing up here, I definitely think it says over here, it's okay to feel like you know, float a little bit and be up in the cloud a little bit, but don't forget to ground yourself when it's necessary. All right, be a little bit more practical. It's okay to be a daydreamer or a dreamer in general, but then figure out the necessary steps to reach that goal of yours. All right. So for the next 7 to 10 days, your main message is telling you to ground yourself. So I would take that as, set up a plan, do it step by step. Don't think about, you can just go from 1 to 10, skipping all of the steps in between. If you do that, it's not that it's impossible, but you also will go back to 1 quite quickly. But if you do it step by step, then you built a firm foundation, and so it's very less likely when you go backwards, you're not going to fall back to 1. You might fall back, a few steps, but you'll be able to regain your balance quite quickly. So that's what I get for this card. So really build your foundation. Make sure that it's firm. Make sure it's based off of truth and clarity and good foundation. Think of it as building a house, right? You don't want the house to collapse. All right, so now we have the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles. All right, so for your love situation for the next 7 to 10 days, we have the Queen of Wands, which is amazing energy. It's a general reading, so we're not reading the gender. Queen of Wands is about very passionate, very action-oriented, fiery energy, caring as well, but I would definitely think more of like a Sagittarius, all the fire signs, but this particular one kind of reminds me of like a Sagittarius or something like that, right? Happy, cheerful, bright, and sunny, and lots of good luck, right? So for the next 7 to 10 days, in regards to your love situation, if you're single, I think you're full of passion. You are super charismatic. All right, you're super charismatic. First of all, your feminine side might be showing up a little bit more, regardless of you're a man or a female. Having that female kind of energy is quite attractive. Depending on the situation, of course, but because the Queen of Wands showing up here is like that more of a feminine energy, which is a little bit more nurturing instead of like overpowering. But I think definitely whether you're single or you're in a relationship, regardless, you're just full of passion, full of fire, super charismatic. You're attracting a lot of people to you. For some reason, this Queen of Wands card keeps, like, every time I see it, I see Angelina Jolie in like the movie Magnificent. I know she's like the evil character, but then like Sleeping Beauty, right? But it just kind of just gives me that image for some reason. So Queen of Wands, very charismatic, even though you might be like devilish. Maybe that's the reason you're like a little devilish, but it's so charismatic. You draw people to you like magnetically. All right, so for the next 7 to 10 days, but remember, ground yourself. It's okay to feel heavenward, right? To float heavenward, but maybe you're gonna get a lot of compliments from everyone, and you're just gonna feel like, ooh, kind of like floating above everybody else. But remember to ground yourself a little bit. Don't let that go way to your head, so that you're kind of I think it's okay to get complimented and feel that too, but don't let it get too much into your head that you think you're better than everyone. That's just what I'm trying to say. Still ground yourself a little bit and be more down to earth type of person, right? But you're definitely very, very charismatic, very, very magnetic. Everybody's want to be around you in the next 7 to 10 days. So now if you're single, you're drawing people in, right? You don't have to go look, you're drawing people in to you. And for people who are maybe in a situationship or crushing on someone, I think your person is definitely very, very attracted to you. Even if they have other people that they're thinking about, you're definitely the first one that they think about and super attracted to. All right, so keep up that energy, right? So now if you are, and I just feel like you have that I don't give a shit type of energy, right? Again, that magnificent. Like, if you're just gonna put me on the sideline, I'm putting you on the sideline too. That type of like energy. So I do think it makes you super attractive in some ways, to your partner, or to people in general. Now, if you're in a relationship, stable relationship, again, your person is so drawn to you. Your person is super passionate about you. They can't even imagine life without you. Even if you guys been together forever and ever, they're still super lovey-dovey about you, right? I just feel like happy about this card. All right, so very good energy. So now last group, if you're looking to reconcile or reconnect with like a past lover or something, I actually feel like with the Queen of Wands showing up, maybe you do have that intention, like, yeah, I want, but I feel like with this card showing up, you're kind of concentrating a little bit more on yourself. So you're hoping for your person to reconnect with you and reconcile with you. And you're doing all kinds of like, things. Maybe you're like becoming fitter. You're just like super charismatic. I don't think you're going to actively pursuing this person that you're hoping reconnect or reconcile with. You're just hoping for them to see you like transforming into this like awesome you, and kind of want them to regret. I think the energy I get from this is like you want them to regret giving you up, or leaving you behind, if that is the case. Because right, that's I really do think the reason why we want to reconnect with someone is because they kind of left us, right? Because if you dump them, why would you want to go back? So now, with that said, because they probably, hurt you or something like that, and now you've transformed into this new charismatic, magnetic you're kind of hoping for them to see it and just regret giving you up, and you're like kind of waiting for them to reconnect and reconcile with you. But I would definitely say that with this, you want to just keep focusing that energy on you and not putting too much expectation on them like contacting you. So all the things that you're doing is for yourself and not for the reason that you want them to regret losing you type of energy. Because if that is the case, if they don't contact you, right, and they don't say anything to you, you're gonna get really disappointed, and I don't know if you'll be able to keep up with that, with this like really vibrant energy. So you wanted to do it for yourself and not because for other reasons. All right, so that's what I see with this card. Now for business wise, the next 7 to 10 days, we have the Nine of Wands. The Nine of Wands in this particular deck is kind of interesting because it's forming a house. And so I would definitely say that with this card, you're trying to protect what you already built. You're still passionate about whatever it is, so that's why you're actively defending it, protecting it. So if you're currently employed, I feel like you are trying to protect all of the results that you've currently built thus far. Maybe other people are trying to do something to you or say something bad behind your back, so you're kind of on a defense, all right, this week, to like guard yourself. But you're doing it a little passively, not like aggressively attacking these people, but you're just doing your work. You're just proving them, whoever is spreading anything, proving these people are wrong through your dedication, through your hard work. That's what I see over here. And with that ground yourself, you're definitely doing that, right? So you're definitely very grounded, because look how firm it is with with this card over here, and then you're standing right in the middle, right? you're like an injured warrior, so you're not like inexperienced. You're definitely very experienced, and you know, like, action speaks louder than words, so you're gonna prove all of them wrong through your action, type of thing. Okay. And for people who are looking for an employment in the next 7 to 10 days, with the 9 of Swords, I would say that you're like you're defending yourself. You might be feeling like you're defending yourself. Again, it's that action speaks louder than words. So it's a little harder for you to show them things, because during the beginning phase, like interview and stuff like that, it's all like, talking what you could do, what you can bring to the company, that type of things, right? So it's really hard to show it. So if there's a way that, if you can think of a way to actually show that side of you, I really do think you'll stand out from the rest of the competition. Maybe through your behavior, so through the way that you talk, through the way you think, things, how you answer questions, it will definitely speak louder than the words itself about who you are, what you can do. So yeah, that I would definitely think that would be the advice with this card. If you're looking for employment, show them, and not just talk about it or with words, type of thing. All right. So lastly, this is your finance card for the next 7 to 10 days. Ooh, Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, I saw this, but I thought it was Knight of Wands or something. It's Knight of Pentacles. It's great card to have Pentacles when we're doing a finance reading. So we're going to break it up into investment and expenses section. So for the next 7 to 10 days, in regards to your investment, with the Knight of Pentacles, you want to do it. I think things are progressing slowly but firmly. For example, if you've already invested, I don't think it's a great time to sell or to cash out or anything, because of the Knight of Pentacles is showing that maybe you're seeing growth. Like, I think you're thinking or contemplating about selling it, maybe because you're like, oh my god, this is like such a stable investment or something, because you're not seeing a lot of growth or something like that. But it's stable. It's growing at a stable rate. It's not like those ones that, or like, I don't know, I'm gonna use Tesla as an example, right? You see that it spikes up and then it drops. Like, it was going up from 400 to 800 and now like 600. Like, you're riding on a roller coaster. But if you actually are able to catch it, then of course you're making a ton of money. High risk, high return. But this one is just stable. It's not moving up quickly, but if you look at it like a 5 years, 10 years, like kind of return or report, the chart is, there's dips, small dips, but it's continuing moving up. So I definitely don't think this is the investment. If there's a particular investment that you're thinking about, I don't think that's the investment that you should sell it or cash out, right? Or if you're at the beginning stage of trying to invest into something, I definitely think with this card showing up here, you want to find something that is not high risk, high return. You want to find something that is a stable growth type of investment. So don't look for something that's a little too risky. This is someone who is or something that is very, very promising. A long-term type of investment. So it's not like a one day, day trade type of investment. All right, it's investment for the long term. When I say long term for this one, it's like 5 to 10 years long term. All right, or even like looking at it from the retiring point of view. So like 20 years from now on. All right, so that's that in regards to investment. Now if you're looking at like expenses, are there going to be any major expenses that you need to watch out for in the next 7 to 10 days? I think for the Knight of Pentacles, I don't think there's going to be any major expenses. I think you're a saver. You are saving money. You are doing things very conservatively, but at a promising rate. So you carefully analyze everything, and you're most likely you're gonna save everything that you have. If there are any spending, I would think it's like, it's because you need it, and like you're super practical, so you already did all of your work, and you always get the best rate or best deal. Okay, so I don't think you're the group that I need to worry too much about, like, spending impetuously or something like that. So, and in fact, with the Knight of Pentacles showing up, I think you have quite a good saving, right? Saved up. So now that's it. That's what I see for pile number 3 for the next 7 to 10 days. And I hope this helped. And if you have anything you would like to share with me, you can leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel under my video. And turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.